What are they going to do at quarterback?
You want more?
I'm telling you what they're going to do at quarterback.
Ride with Geno?
What they're going to do at quarterback is ride with Geno. They love him. The teammates love him. They do not look at him and think, well, that's the guy who washed out in New York. They don't look at him and say, well, that's the guy that Ben McAdoo put in to start in place of Eli Manning to break up his streak in New York. They don't look at him and say, well, that's the guy who came in for Russ midseason last year and couldn't keep the ship nearly as afloat as he did this year. They don't look at him and think that at all. They look at him and think, that's our guy. They look at him and see the 50-yard throw in the playoffs to DK Metcalf.
That was nice.
They look at him and see the runs that he comes up with as well. They like his arm. Take a look at, Chris, look it up, will you please? Look up how many attempts Geno Smith made this year.
Passing attempts?
Yes, sir.
All right.
How many times did they fade him back, roll him out, and let him cook? Take a look at that number.
Geno Smith had 572 passes.
How about that? Almost 600 passing attempts. Do you think Russell Wilson would have liked that in previous years?
Yep.
They believe in Geno. And the way that they're playing is the way that Pete likes to play. And the way that they're playing put them in the playoffs this year. Say what you will about their second half of the season and how that game against the Rams ended. Apparently, Schefter reported that the Lions and the Rams were livid with the officiating in that game, as well they should have. Seattle got some gifts from the officials in that game, from a roughing the punter penalty that I didn't understand where that came from, and also a taunt in the direction of Bobby Wagner that wasn't called on an interception that came at a crucial moment. At any rate, say what you will about all that, but the Seahawks made the playoffs, and they had a halftime lead in San Francisco. And they've got the 5th overall pick, and I don't think there's a quarterback there that will make them think we're just going to start from scratch. I think they like Geno a lot, and the only thing I imagine that would prevent them from signing a deal is if Geno overplays a hand, where they're like, yeah, that's just too many years. That's too many dollars. We'll just find another direction. We'll go in a different direction. We like Drew Lock just as much, and then we'll go into that season saying, oh, are they crazy? Then they'll make the playoffs again. They've got the 5th overall pick. I think they're going to use it on a defender, or if there's some offensive lineman that they love, they fell head over heels in, and go to work. And let Kenny Walker run it and let Geno sling it. I think the players love him. I saw it in person in Munich. Because the Seahawks aren't that. They're just like, that's the way they zag, or that's the way they zig. What are they going to zag with who? The kid from Kentucky? Stick him up there? 5th overall?
That's the spot for him?
I don't think so.
In that range?
That just doesn't. I think they liked Geno to begin with, and the rest of the country was saying, what the hell are they thinking? And they made the playoffs. That's my 2 cents on Seattle. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.